And I was like, no, I manifested this. Give me the damn package. Give me my insurance. And I'm taking the time off to focus on my healing. And that was the start of the biggest spiritual awakening I have. Hi, this is Jessica Diana here. I'm so excited to get into our episode today. If you are listening to us on Spotify or iTunes, welcome. If you are watching us on YouTube, I am here in our beautiful home, Casa La Luz. It's located in the Poconos, PA. This is where I'm shooting today and the next couple of episodes. So I welcome you into our home. For those of you who are listening on Spotify, I am a white Latina woman with long hair. I have a beige outfit on with a white shirt, and I'm ready to get into it. So currently, I'm an intuitive energy guide. I'm a soul mentor, and I'm a divine channel. And this was all a becoming of my whole life's journey till now, till today. There's also a lot of other modalities that I do, such I am a Reiki master, a sound healer. I know quantum healing. I know some ancestral wisdom, just indigenous wisdom from my family, and a bunch of different things that we will be exploring on this podcast. So this podcast was created from a need to want to express mind, body, soul, and energy connection from a different lens, from my point of view. Also to create a lighthearted space for us to really explore all the depths of ourselves. And let's just get into it. So in 2023, I had a corporate job. I was an ex-corporate baddie working in the corporate space as a diversity, equity, and inclusion manager, running programs across North America, Latin America, and the Caribbean islands, and always creating spaces where people belonged. Before that, I was an events director for about 15 years, again, creating these large visions that these companies would have, and they would come to me and I would help kind of create these beautiful events that embodied this vision that they had. While doing this work, I was called to move into diversity work, and that's what I did last before I got into the work that I do today. So go back again to 2023, and 2023 was a really beautiful, energetic year of my self-discovery, of my coming home to myself and coming home to my body, because my body was screaming at me. So to take a step back again, 2020, I did a bunch of rounds of IVF and IUI to try to get pregnant. Unfortunately, I was not able to conceive naturally and do experience some fertility issues. And due to that, in 2021, I was diagnosed with a chronic illness called fibromyalgia. So for about 2 years before 2023, I was kind of battling this new chronic illness that lived in my body. I had to rearrange the way that I saw things, the way that I lived, the way that I embodied myself, the energy that I maintained, the food that I ate, and really also grieve this part of myself, this new body I was living in, all the things that I could do before, I can no longer do, and really just coming to terms with what it meant to live with a chronic illness. And me being who I am, decided to go on a journey of self-discovery. Part of who I am is I am a researcher, I am a learner, I am a student at life. So in the journey and the discovery of me learning more about myself, I started to understand that fibromyalgia, this chronic illness, it lines back in terms of childhood trauma that's stored in the body. It is when your body gets stuck in fight or flight, and it always thinks that there is a tiger in the room, and you're in this constant state of stress at all times for any little thing. So when normal people would get scared or somebody scares them, my body goes into complete shock. Well, it used to a lot more. It doesn't as much anymore. My mother had it, my cousin has it, and it affects a lot of women, and it's also genetics. As I'm discovering this part of myself, I also start this new job in the middle of what was still going on as COVID, and kind of like really working the dynamics to be working remotely. And working remote is the way that this body loves to live. It loves to have long mornings. It loves to stretch and do all the things I need to do to energetically align to get my day started. So in 2023, I was kind of going on 2 years into my career. And in March of 2023, I was experiencing kind of the height of this chronic illness in my body, and it was affecting all parts of my life. It was affecting my work, my relationship with my husband, my relationship with people, my relationship with myself. And it really started to show up in different ways. And I don't know like what was going on, but I know that I needed to focus on healing. So in March or April of that year, I told my husband, like, listen, I don't know what I need to do, but I know that I need to take some time off from work and really focus on taking care of myself. So this was like March, April, things started to change. The dynamics of how I was showing up to work, the things that were being asked of me, I was not in this physical body able to do a lot of those things. In June or July of that year, I was like, I'm going to take this time off. I told my husband, I'm going to focus on healing. And in November, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to take 3 or 4 months. And I don't know where it's going to take me, but I know that I need the time off to focus on myself. In June or July of that year, I was told that my last day would be August 3rd and I would get a severance package and I would get 3 months of insurance, or I can like go into my role and do something else. And I was like, no, I manifested this. Give me the damn package. Give me my insurance. And I'm taking the time off to focus on my healing. And during this time, August 3rd was my last day in my corporate job. Right before that, I was also trying to go to this retreat. This retreat was being hosted by Debbie Brown and Queen Afua, and it was called Women Who Heal. I was trying to figure out how I was going to make it to this retreat because I was out of PTO days, right? And trying to figure it out. And then once I had my last day, I was like, I'm going to this retreat. It's at the end of August. And while I was at this retreat, I got a download that I needed to learn Reiki. And that's where my healing journey, my spiritual awakening rather, really, really started. I told myself when I got back from this retreat, I was not going to jump into anything. I was going to give myself the 3 or 4 months that I promised myself to do nothing and focus on my healing. So I did that. I focused on my healing. And then September, October came and I was like, I'm going to look into seeing who I want to learn from, who I want to learn Reiki from. I ended up finding my Reiki teacher and master, incredible woman, Jules, and I really resonated with her work because not only was she a healer, her story resonated mine. She was impacted by some traumatic experience within her body and had to learn how to heal herself. And through her healing, also, her psychic gifts opened up. And I knew I had psychic gifts that were in the closet. So I was like, I have to learn from her. I have to figure this out. So I fly from New Jersey all the way to California to learn from this teacher because I needed to learn in person. And during those kind of attunements and placements while you're getting your Reiki 1 and 2, your psychic gifts completely open up, your intuition to the divine, your intuition to yourself, your connection to the divine source God energy opens up. And I feel like I quantum leaped years, years. And what started as me just taking some time off, maybe going back to a corporate job after the 4 months in the new year, landed me just following breadcrumbs of what the universe, God source energy was giving me for me to follow. And I was just moving one step in front of another. And it turned from Reiki to learning all these different modalities. I ended up taking a year-long intuitive healing mentorship with Jules for the whole year of last year to really understand my gifts and my intuitive gifts and my healing gifts that I can share with the world. And that was the start of the biggest spiritual awakening I have. I've had previous spiritual awakenings that contributed to this. And it's now going on 2 years since I left my corporate job, and I support women, helping them embody their divinity, helping them embody their truth, their authentic self with love, compassion, with gratitude, with joy, all these things that I've been doing my whole life. I feel like every step, every job that I had or every moment that I had has led me right here to this moment. All I knew was how to help people, how to understand human behavior, how to create spaces where people belong, how to get people's visions and make them come to life, how to create access, how to listen to people, because a lot of times when we are on these spiritual awakenings and we're having these unravelings and these unfolding, and it's like this cosmic death and rebirth that's always continuously happening, we start to look back and being like, why am I just awakening? And I feel like God, source, energy, creator, they are showing us the path the whole way, but we have so much programming and so much things that we need to unwire, unlock, and really rewire with our subconscious mind, how we do things, our generational traumas, all these different layers. We're like this big onion that needs unfolding, right? And it's like we start to strip away every single layer to really get to our most authentic self and how we can show up. Right? And the more that we can get to our most authentic self is the more that we can embody our Dharma, right? We can embody our soul purpose, embody who we are. That spiritual awakening led to so much uncovering, so many gifts that wanted to come through and come out, and things that I was hiding and being in the spiritual closet to like everyone else, like anyone who knew me in my circle, my husband, my mother before she passed, my siblings, all really know that I have all these beautiful psychic gifts and like all this beautiful connection. And I really wanted to bring it out to the table. So now, as I mentioned, I'm going on 2 years to really connect my passion with my purpose in terms of how I can serve and what I was called, what my soul contract was here to do on this earth. So I'm inviting you all to take this journey with me of embodying ourselves and learning healing tools and learning devotional and rituals and things that we can add to our everyday to really help us be the most expansive version of ourselves, to really live in our Dharma, to really look at our karmic lessons, our karmic contracts, and really love them and embrace them and really know that we are always winning. Right? Every moment, even in our baddest decisions, even when there's things that are out of alignment, we are always winning because we can take an opportunity to look at that from a different lens, from an empowered lens, and really see how we can be of service to ourselves and to others. I know that I'm just a channel for this work. I'm just a channel of information to kind of move this energy and move this through. So Embodied Frequencies was created from this version of knowing that embodiment is so important. I've been dancing since I was a child and always embodying these gifts. I'm an artist, I'm a visionary. So knowing that if I leave one part of me out of the equation, my soul and my spirit is like, girl, what is going on? So embodying frequencies is we really are the energy that we put out, the frequency that we put out. We are tuning in and tuning out the things that we want to shift into. We're tuning out the old stories. It's like a radio dial, right? You get the static until you get to that note, until you get to that station, right? And then you're able to tune in and you can change the radio dial to listen to hip hop or reggaeton or country music or house music. And you're tuning into these different things. So this podcast is going to explore how we can embody different things. Maybe what are some things that we are embodying already that we don't even realize that we're doing? And why am I doing this? Like, why do I want to talk about it? Why do I want to talk about embodying frequencies or negative frequencies? Positive? We're going to explore all of it. It is because you are able to manifest the life of your dreams. You are able to fully live in joy and your self-expression when you are able to be your most authentic self. So this journey is going to be a beautiful journey, and I look forward to having more conversations with you guys. So thank you for tuning into my first episode. Stay tuned for our next episode and everything that will be unfolding right here on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at jessicadiana.soul and on all my social media networks. Cheers.